How will the death of Saudi Arabia's King Abdullah affect the global geopolitical landscape?
What do his successor's policies mean for the kingdom and the region?
Tonight on Primetime News, we seek to answer these questions and more.
But before that, here's a look at tonight's headlines.
Presidential Secretariat vehicles worth 220 million rupees discovered in Pitakotte. The Elections Commissioner comments on his security on election day. Chairman of the company which maintained a floating armory in Galle prohibited from travelling abroad. The attempt to vilify and discredit me will be unsuccessful. A statement from the former governor of the central bank. Civil servants' wages to increase in 6 days. CID takes over investigation into Lasantha Wickramatunga's murder.
On to your top story this evening, Chief Justice Mohan Peiris has been interrogated by the Criminal Investigations Department today. Minister of Public Peace John Amaratunga, speaking in Newsfirst, said that the Chief Justice was being questioned over a complaint that had been lodged alleging his involvement in a coup attempt said to have taken place on the night of the presidential election. Minister John Amaratunga added that the Chief Justice was interrogated under the supervision of the Director of the CID.
Meanwhile, the Hong Kong Director of the Asian Human Rights Commission, Attorney at Law Basil Fernando, says that steps must be taken to remove the Chief Justice if good governance is to prevail. He made this statement at a media briefing convened today by the People's Forum for Rule of Law and Good Governance.
The problem with the Supreme Court must be resolved. This is not a problem with an individual. This individual must be removed. Over the past 2 to 3 days, he has reportedly gone at night and requested a posting as an ambassador in order for him to resign. This is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Who did he say this to? The President. What more evidence do they need? If he is allowed to continue, the country will collapse. That is the problem. If a certain person has brought the law to a position where it cannot be enforced, then the government has every right to take special steps. The President is the final custodian of the law.
නීතියේ අවසාන ආරක්ෂකයා ජනාධිපති. දැන් මේ වෙනකොට කතා වෙනවනේ දැන් 8 වෙනිදා 9 වෙනිදා ඒ වෙනකොට රාජ්‍ය මන්ත්‍රණයක් තිබුණා කියලා. ඒ බඳු මන්ත්‍රණයක් කරන්නට ඇද්ද කරානම් ඒ සඳහා පවතින බලාධිකාරී විසින් කුමක් කළ යුතුද? එසේ නොකරන්නේ නම් මේ කුමක් වෙනුවෙන්ද කියන ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. රජයේ ඉහළම මේ අමති කෙනෙක් ඒක
A senior government minister has lodged a complaint with the CID and names have been mentioned too. What needs to be done is that a statement must be recorded from the Attorney General.
Meanwhile, the Lawyers Collective commented today on the statement made by Attorney at Law Wijeratna Kodipille, who claimed to be the Chief Justice's media spokesperson.
There is no provision in the law for him to appoint a media spokesperson. How did the Chief Justice get the power to appoint a media spokesperson? This person is a lawyer. Who was it that appointed a lawyer that we have never seen before as the media spokesperson? There is a question as to under which regulations this was done. Throughout all of this, what we are saying is that the Chief Justice must stop denigrating the judiciary and must resign immediately out of respect for the independence of the judiciary.
We have not seen judges who dine with politicians and go on foreign trips with them ever in the history of this country. We put faith in judges in this country as much as we place faith in gods. We respect them. At the same time, we will not hesitate to chase away corrupt judges.
I
believe that usually only a judge can enter the official chambers. Other people cannot enter. Thereby a suspicion arises as to who this person is and where he came from. We have been informed that he is a lawyer who took oaths 3 years ago on the 28th of July 2011 in Kuruvita. We see this as an insult to judges, the judiciary and the people of this country.
විනිශ්චයකාරවරුන්ට අධිකරණයට මේ රටේ ජනතාවට කරපු අපහාසයක් විදිහට අපි දකිමු.
Presidential Secretariat vehicles worth 220 million rupees were discovered today in Pitakote. A total of 53 vehicles had been parked at this plot of land.
Police headquarters says that the vehicles were discovered by officers of the Mirihana police who conducted an investigation following a tip-off regarding a suspicious car park. The vehicles were found parked in a plot of land belonging to the Sri Jayawardenapura Multipurpose Cooperative in Pitakote. When Newsfirst made inquiries, it was revealed that 32 of the vehicles were bulletproof. Among the vehicles discovered were 14 BMWs, 4 Mercedes Benzes and 4 Land Rovers. 2 bulletproof Mahindra Boleros were also found. The police also discovered several Nissans, Mitsubishis, Toyotas and Volvos. The vehicle in which the former Defence Secretary was travelling in when he was targeted in a suicide bomb attack was among those discovered at the lot. 2 micros, a tractor and a motorcycle had also been parked here. While one of these luxury cars alone is valued at tens of millions of rupees, a bulletproof vehicle costs far more. The cost of the vehicles at this lot can be estimated as follows. Accordingly, the total cost of all the vehicles found here exceeds 220 million rupees. When Newsfirst made inquiries, the police noted that it would take more time to arrive at a definitive estimate. The police say that when the guards at the parking lot were questioned, they had revealed that the vehicles were from the Presidential Secretariat. The parking lot, which is located in the Walikada Police Division, has been cordoned off. The vehicles had been registered under the Presidential Secretariat. When Newsfirst made inquiries, it was noted that although a number of the vehicles had number plates, they had not been registered. Meanwhile, a Defender with no license plates was discovered parked in the garage of a home in Alawatta, Warakapola last night. The police found the Defender in question following an over-the-phone tip-off. The police media spokesperson's office noted that the vehicle has been impounded by the Warakapola police.
The Colombo Chief Magistrates Court has ordered the Department of Immigration and Immigration to impound the passport of the chairman of Avantgarde, the company to which the floating armoury found aboard a ship at the Galle Harbour belongs to.
The Colombo Chief Magistrate Gihan Pilapitiya made this order following a request made by the Criminal Investigations Department. The CID had submitted to court that if the chairman of the security firm was to leave the country, it would hamper the ongoing investigation into the floating armoury discovered at the Galle Harbour.
Former Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Ajit Nivard Cabral, says that he is deeply disappointed at the wide publicity that has been generated for the charges contained in the complaints against him, as well as other scurrilous stories that have been, quote, deviously placed in various websites and social media, unquote. Ajit Nivard Cabral made this statement in a press statement issued regarding recent complaints made to the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption pertaining to his conduct. Issuing a statement, Cabral notes that he believes that the true position will emerge once a proper understanding of the matters at issue are known to the public. He expresses confidence that the current attempt to vilify the discredit him would be successful and that he would be fully vindicated in time to come. The former central bank governor adds that following his resignation, he vacated the governor's official residence by the 15th of January and that he has since moved to a private residence in Colombo, having no intention of leaving the country.
The Seychelles government has reiterated that Seychelles has nothing to hide and has said that if the Sri Lankan government undertakes an investigation, the Seychelles government is open to assist in the framework of treaties that are in force between the two countries. The Seychelles Ministry of External Affairs made this statement in response to allegations about speculation concerning assets held by Seychelles by the former president of Sri Lanka.
The Seychelles Minister of Foreign Affairs John Paul Adam has emphasized that the partnership between the two countries is one which goes beyond politics. The minister stated that Seychelles had confidence that agreements that exist between the two countries, as well as their partnership in multilateral initiatives tackling possible financial crimes, could be used to address any concerns. He stressed that the government of Seychelles is willing to cooperate to pursue any investigations in regards to these allegations, especially since any Sri Lankan investments can be verified under the double taxation avoidance agreement signed between the two countries. The minister had reportedly written to his counterpart at the Ministry of External Affairs of Sri Lanka expressing concern at the unfounded allegations levelled against the financial services sector of the Republic of Seychelles in the Sri Lankan media.
A complaint was filed against the former chairman of the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board at the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption today.
The complaint was filed by the chairman of the Independent Professionals Organisation and several others.
We
handed over several documents to the secretary. He said that if we can prove our claims with evidence, immediate action can be taken. This person, Lesha De Silva, is also connected to fraud that took place at Sri Lanka Telecom. She served as the secretary to the board of directors of the Ratna Lanka firm and had been involved in large-scale malpractices at the National Dangerous Drug Control Board.
The Elections Commissioner Mahinda Deshapre convened a media briefing today to discuss the concluded presidential election and the future course of action. The media briefing was held at the Elections Secretariat in Colombo.
There was a question as to whether Gotabaya Rajapaksa has come to the Election Secretariat. He has not come to my office with regard to this election up to now. With regard to this question of a conspiracy, all I can say is that until a proper investigation is conducted and definite facts are ascertained, I cannot respond. The army had been positioned at some locations. Many people are asking if the security forces raided the counting centres at DSA Nanaka College, Royal College and the Election Secretariat. The first answer is that at no instance did the army or any other force enter the Election Secretariat. Additional soldiers had been in position, but that is normal during an election. I have been informed that this has happened on prior occasions as well. If anyone attempted to come and force me to do something, it would not have been possible because the STF officer too was in my office. Indiga Krishanta Fernando, the officer who died in an accident on the 12th, was always in my office with his revolver at the ready. He was in a state where he would have even shot a mosquito if it got close to me.
Views were also expressed on the tenure of the present government.
I do not like to hold a parliamentary election in April or in June. Parliament's tenure expires in April 2016. If the election laws are not changed, then even if Parliament is dissolved tomorrow, we can hold an election within 2.5 months. I have not seen the committee report on whether a new electoral system will be issued. If Parliament does it, then I have to do the tailoring according to the cloth that I am given.
Journalists raised questions regarding Sarath Fonseca's right to vote.
In the matter of Sarath Fonseca's right to vote, it is evident that it will be restored when a full pardon is granted. I have inquired from my lawyers as to when this will be restored. Some people are asking if he will receive a seat in Parliament. That question does not arise. There is no vacant parliamentary seat. But Katakoda has addressed a letter to me asking me to give instruction that the seat go to Fonseca if he resigns. That has been referred to the legal division.
The matter of the leadership of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party was also brought up at this media briefing.
According to the papers I have, the chairman of the SLFP is Mahinda Rajapaksa. He is the chairman of both the UPFA and the SLFP according to the papers I have, because they have not informed me of any change. I received a letter about 10 days ago in which it was reaffirmed that he is the chairman.
3 new governors took their oaths in the presence of President Maithripala Sirisena this evening at the Presidential Secretariat.
The 3 new governors for the western, southern and northwestern provinces took their oaths before President Maithripala Sirisena. A communique issued by the President's media unit said that K.C. Logeswaran was sworn in as the governor of the western province while Hemakumara Nanakara was sworn in as the governor of the southern province. Amara Piyasili Ratnayaka took oaths as the new governor of the northwestern province.
President Maithripala Sirisena has declared open the edX Expo 2015 Education and Job Fair, which is being held at present at PMICH in Colombo.
President Maithripala Sirisena was a chief guest at the opening ceremony of the edX Expo 2015. The fair will conclude on Sunday.
Colombo I believe
there is great value in the fact that an exhibition organized by the Old Boys Association of Royal College Colombo is being declared open by an old boy of Royal College Polonnaruwa. I have always had love for Royal College Colombo. I had affiliation and great respect. We have all accepted the importance of ensuring that our next generation is able to win the world and can be competitive in all sectors in the modern world.
යොමු කිරීමේ වැදගත්කම ඔබ අප කවුරුත් පිළිගන්නා වූ දෙයක්.
අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ දැනුම පදනම් කරගත් සමාජයක් බිහි කරන්නත්.
We are hoping to create a knowledge-based society. The time has come for us to create an education system for school children, a strategic education system that will prime them for employment. We are hoping to commence this change in syllabus in the universities too. We must especially mention that by changing our education system, we can provide great relief to our economy.
අපේ ආර්ථිකයට මේ අධ්‍යාපන වෙනස් කිරීම තුලින් අපිට විශාල පිටුවහලක් ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන්කම ලැබෙනවා.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe engaged in a public discussion at the office of the United National Party in Nyamulla, Muravaka.
එළඹෙන පාර්ලිමේන්තු මැතිවරණේ මෛත්‍රීපාල සිරිසේන මැතිතුමා ශ්‍රී ලංකා ඉන්ටර්ස් පක්ෂයේ සභාපතිවරයා වශයෙන් සුදුසු මන්ත්‍රීවරුන් නාම යෝජනා දීලා එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂය විවේචනය කරාවිද ශ්‍රී ලංකා ඉන්ටර්ස් පක්ෂය පමණක් ජයග්‍රහණ කිරුසාය ආවිද අපිට තියාගෙන අපිටත් උවමනා වුණා එතුමා මේ පක්ෂයේ සභාපතිකම ගන්න.
Please remember that we too wanted him to be appointed as chairman of the party. If not, we would have had persons who would have been against us. We did not even have a majority in the parliament at the time. We have said on numerous occasions that it was because of the United National Party that he became president and that we would not do anything that would be unfair. He too accepted this. Even former President Chandrika Kumaratunga is in this party. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa is also there. The question is both of them talk face to face. So what I am trying to say here is that we have to continue our duties accordingly. He told us he has nothing of that sort. He will make a statement when the time comes. There is no election now. It will be done when the election comes.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe called on the chief incumbent of the Katamuru Raja Mahaviharaya and obtained blessings and also engaged in special religious observances. He also engaged in the Deva Puja at the historical Gatambara Devalaya. The Prime Minister also conversed with government officials in the area at the vicinity of the Viharaya.
Minister Sajid Premadasa guaranteed today that political vengeance would not be exacted in any form from any employee at the Ministry of Housing and Samurdhi.
At a meeting with officials from the Ministry of Housing and Samurdhi at the new town hall in Colombo today, the minister had this to say.
We will never, and we have already put a stop to public institutions in the housing sector, Samurdhi sector or Divinagama sector, putting up posters inflating my ego and singing praises of the government. I make a request of all of you to embark on a journey that is an example to the entire nation. I hope to secure the title of being the minister in this new cabinet who sleeps the least, is awake the most and works tirelessly with the greatest commitment. I need your cooperation to strengthen this program and achieve our vision. I will not at any time, for any personal reason, exact political vengeance from any public official. I will not label anyone as being people who worked closely with Mahinda Rajapaksa or Basil Rajapaksa. I will not remove them. You are the life that steers this country.
Rajapaksa ඇමතිතුමත් එක්ක සමීපව වැඩ කටයුතු කරා කියලා මම කිසිම කෙනෙක්ව ලේබල් කරලා අයින් කරන්නට යන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක තමුන්නාන්සලා තමයි රට මෙහෙවන ජීවය.
The minister's attention was also turned towards problems faced by the officials.
Minister of Finance Ravi Karunanayake says that prices of essential items will be reduced in 6 days.
The minister made this statement at a media briefing subsequent to a meeting with the Minister of Finance of Maldives, Abdul Jihad.
29 ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ අර දිනසියේ පත්‍රිකාවේ තියෙනවා. මට කියන්න පුළුවන් අන්න අඩු අපි දේවල් අඩු කරනවා. ඒක එකට දෙකක් තවත් කරන්න හදනවා. අපෙන් අහන සාධාරණ ප්‍රශ්නය තමයි.
A question that would be fair for you to ask is as to who will be paying for this. What we are telling the public is that there is a deficit of 5,532 billion rupees in the 2015 budget. We will not allow this deficit to increase in another week.
ඒ අයව හිඟ තම සතේකින් වැඩි කරන්න ඉඩ දෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේක
1.2 million 25,000 employees will have their wages increased. Transportation fares must be reduced and prices of goods will also be reduced. And amongst these goods are complementary goods for which prices also be reduced. That is why I asked you all to ask me whether we will be increasing one side by 5,000 and increase taxes on the other. We will not do such cheap acts.
The Ministry of Transport has not given an official announcement on how bus fares will be reduced in line with the reduction of fuel prices. However, Private Bus Association says that they are ready to reduce bus fares by 7 to 8% in accordance with the national policy.
The government reduced a litre of petrol by 33 rupees while a litre of diesel was reduced by 16 rupees with effect from the 21st. Passengers also hope that with the revision of fuel prices that the prices of bus fares too would reduce.
We are hoping to provide relief in line with the reduction of fuel prices. With this percentage, there will also be a 7 to 8% change. We also see a minimum of 9 to 8 rupees reduction with this reduction. We will be able to reduce bus fares by 7 to 8% in line with the national policy. The former government did not give a standard bus fare. Furthermore, cost of wages, grease oil, tyre tubes and other spare parts have increased by 300 rupees.
Although the Private Bus Owners Association made this statement, the final decision with regard to the revised fares will be announced by the Ministry of Internal Transportation. We attempted to make inquiries with regard to this from the Minister of Internal Transportation. However, our attempts proved futile. With the price of petrol reduced by 33 rupees since Wednesday, the price has been reduced by 44 rupees in total over the past 4 months. However, fares of the 600,000 three-wheelers has not been reduced in line with the reduction of fuel prices. The All-Island Three-Wheel Drivers Trade Union shows that there is no proper procedure and regulation, and those who are engaged in this trade charge passengers between 30 to 50 rupees per kilometre.
Even if they give fuel for free, three-wheel drivers do not receive the benefits that they should. The three-wheel industry has gone astray within this 35 years. They did not pass the Gazette Bill which was presented in Parliament and withheld the other Gazette Bills as well. We request the government to please bring the three-wheel industry to the correct path which has now gone astray.
Meanwhile, the price of diesel, which has been revised on 3 occasions within the past 4 months, has reduced by 26 rupees. Therefore, isn't it logical that fees of school and office transport services reduce as well?
We hope to hold discussions with the Internal Transport Minister Madhuma Bandara next week. During these discussions, we will see how much we can reduce our charges by.
We also made inquiries from the agriculture, fishing and trade industries.
We mainly use kerosene, so this will reduce the cost we have to bear to cultivate. Following the reduction in fuel prices, we are hoping that they will reduce transportation charges from today. I work on a small boat and we will be saving about 1,000 rupees a day because of the price reduction. Transportation charges have reduced greatly and we will transfer this benefit to the consumer.
Still in local news tonight, Mount Lavinia Magistrate Mohammed Shahabdin ordered today that the investigation into the murder of journalist Lasantha Wickrematunge be entrusted to the Criminal Investigations Department. The investigation was being handled by the TID, or Terrorism Investigation Division.
When the case was taken up today, lawyers representing the rights of the deceased Lasantha Wickrematunge made this request from the magistrate. After considering submissions made, the magistrate ordered that the TID's files on the investigations too be entrusted to the CID.
The Deputy Minister of Women's Affairs, Vijay Kala Maheshwaran, assumed duties in a portfolio this morning.
Deputy Minister of Women's Affairs Vijayakala Maheswaran assumed duties in her ministerial portfolio at the ministry in Siripaya, giving priority to religious observances.
I'm pleased to have taken up my duties as the Minister of Women's Affairs under this government of good governance. I am proud of it. There are widows in the north and east. I hope to implement a program that will protect their lives and ensure the self-employment status of widows in other areas will be uplifted. Within the 100-day program, we will not repeat the mistakes made by the previous administration and instill good governance for the benefit of the people. If the government makes a mistake, I will render my support to the TNA. I will work to ensure that permanent solutions are provided to the issues of the Tamil people.
General Secretary of the Citizens Front, Parliamentarian J. Sri Ranga, was also present at the occasion. Subsequently, the Deputy Minister was accompanied by Parliamentarian Ranga on an inspection tour of the women's section at the Valikada prison.
Many have been arrested over land disputes. Some were arrested as LTT suspects. There are cases on certain ministers for having 10 to 15 properties. These people come here with their children for a simple land grab. What wrong has this child done? What are the rights of the child? The child is being incarcerated. One has been arrested for LTTE connections. She is 4 months pregnant. However, Karuna Amman and KP are on the outside. Nothing has been done to them. This is not justice. There needs to be a change. I will speak to the Minister of Justice and Deputy Minister Sujiva Senasinghe regarding this matter. We will take immediate action on this.
Meanwhile, several ministers and deputy ministers of the new government assumed duties today.
Minister of Public Peace, Disaster Management and Christian Religious Affairs John Amarathunga assumed duties today at the Police Department, which comes under the purview of the Public Peace Ministry. A guard of honour was accorded to the minister by the police at this occasion. The minister assumed duties amid multi-faith religious observances.
I wish to state to you at this occasion that it is both my intention and the intention of our government to ensure an independent and impartial police service. Several steps will be taken to prevent drugs from coming into the country and against the racketeers who are involved in bringing drugs into the country. I will appoint a team of officers for this purpose in the near future. I wish to also make the promise that we will enthusiastically consider the complaints of all police officers who have been victims of political vengeance. An independent police commission will be appointed in the near future.
දේශපාලන පළගැනීම් වලින් මේ දක්වා අසරණපත් වී සිටින සියලු පොලිස් නිලධාරීන්ගේ දුක් ගැනවිලි ඉතා ඕනෑකමින් සලකා බලන බවටද මේ අවස්ථාවේදී මා පොරොන්දු වීමට කැමැතියි. නුදුරු අනාගතයේදී ස්වාධීන පොලිස් කොමිසමක් පත් කරනු ඇත.
I believe these 100 days will be very important. We must be vigilant of all developments that are occurring at present, because this is the moment where what we do will decide the turning point. The decisions that we take will have a major impact on our tomorrow and on the next generation. Just as our lives are temporary, the 3 months we have been given are far more temporary.
Today, we, especially myself, am very glad to see our dear friend get so important positions in new government. What I want to say is that, the Honorable, don't drag yourself too hard. We have to make things changing stably. And also, I want to say we will keep all the plan, cooperative plan, which we had with the old government, and we want to see a more new plan with the new government to enhance the bilateral relationship between China and Sri Lanka, and to support the new government to implement their policies.
Minister of Estate Infrastructure Development P. Digambaram assumed duties today at the Ministry of Livestock and Rural Community Development.
අවුරුදු
For 200 years, the estate people have been born and raised in the line room, and this has not changed. It was Minister Arjuna that continuously spoke to me over the phone and brought us to this pass. We hope that at the same time to rebuild homes that were destroyed by the landslide in Miriabedda too within this 100-day program.
He did not ask for other things. He did not ask for money. All he asked for was housing and land for his people. I believe when you consider this, it is a good example for other politicians.
2 roads that connect Sri Lanka with the world are currently being overtaken by mung beans and sesame seeds.
The road which leads to the main entrance of the Suryavava International Cricket Stadium is currently being used by the local farming community to dry their grains, which include sesame and mung beans. The last time that a cricket match was played at the stadium was on the 3rd of December 2014, and since then no cricket match has been hosted there. These days, it is a common sight to see farmers from Suryavava, Megaha, Jadura and Mattala bringing in their crops for drying on this road on hand tractors. Because of the low populace in the area, this road is being used to dry crops grown by the farmers.
We start our sports news with badminton here at home. Minister of Sports Navin Dissanayake has decided to postpone the election of office bearers for the Sri Lanka Badminton Association, which was to be held on Monday. When Newsfirst made inquiries from the Minister of Sports, he noted that he made this decision due to the improper manner in which the elections were being conducted. The election of office bearers for the Sri Lanka Badminton Association has been postponed on several occasions for various reasons.
Now, it was all disappointment for Sri Lankan cricket fans as a world record 6th wicket stand by Luke Ronchi and Grant Elliott set up New Zealand's 108-run win in the 5th One-Day International against Sri Lankans at Dunedin's University Oval. The Black Caps racked up an intimidating 360-5 thanks to the pair's unbeaten 267-run partnership.
Although Sri Lanka managed to whip through the Kiwi opening order, it was Grant Elliott and Luke Ronchi who inflicted the damage on the visitors. Ronchi and Elliott came together in the 20th over, with New Zealand looking decidedly shaky at 93 for 5 and began an unexpected record-breaking onslaught. Elliott's 104 came off 96 balls as he kept the run rate ticking over and rotated the strike to keep Ronchi facing. Ronchi was outstanding in belting 14 fours and 9 sixes off 99 balls in his maiden ODI century to reach 170 not out. Ronchi and Elliott's partnership for the 6th wicket beat the previous best mark for all countries of 218 set by MS Dhoni and Mahela Jayawardene for an Asian 11 against an African 11 in 2007. It was also the second highest partnership for any wicket set by New Zealanders, bettered only by Brendan McCullum and James Marshall's 274 against Ireland in 2008.
Good to take in the hands of the 2 New Zealanders. I think their partnership, wow.
Although Sri Lanka started strongly, the asking run rate climbed steadily once mainstay Tilakarna Dilshan was out for 116 early in the 37th over. Stand-in skipper Lahiru Thirimana and Dilshan put on 93 for the first wicket before Thirimana holed out to Ross Taylor in the deep. Elliott claimed his second victim in the first ball of the 26th over. Kumar Sangakkara gone for 9 when he chipped a slower ball over mid-on for Nathan McCullum to safely gather. Dilshan and Mahela Jayawardene put on 70 for the third wicket, but once Jayawardene departed in the 36th over, clean bowled by Trent Boult, it was all downhill for the visitors. Sri Lanka were all out for 252, 4 balls into the 44th over. New Zealand lead the 7-match series 3-1 with 2 more games to go.
That should be out now. That's it.
Well, to keep abreast of these stories and much more, simply log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk.
Well, and that's a wrap of primetime news here at News First. For the News First team, I'm Florian Rajendran.
And I'm Joel Outscoon. Have yourself a lovely weekend ahead. Take care and good night.